When a breakup hits you out of nowhere, it feels like the ground disappears beneath your feet. One minute, you're sharing life with someone who felt like home. And the next, you're standing alone in a storm of confusion. What cuts even deeper is hearing that your ex feels relieved. That word alone, relieved, can rip open your chest. It makes you question everything. Was any of it real? Did they even love me? Were the laughs, the memories, the late-night talks just convenient moments for them? Here's what you need to understand. That relief isn't what it seems. It's not a celebration. It's not evidence that they didn't care. It's a natural release from emotional pressure that built up over time. Imagine walking in shoes that don't quite fit. You feel discomfort every step of the way, but you don't stop. Keep going, hoping it gets better, and then you take them off. That instant sense of release feels like peace, but it's not. Healing, it's temporary escape. Give it a little time, and you start to feel the real damage. The soreness, the bruises. It's what your ex is going through, even if they don't see it yet. That initial exhale is deceiving. It's not clarity, it's decompression. They're stepping out of emotional friction, not from you as a person, but from the unresolved conflict that was never properly addressed. But here's the powerful part. The silence that follows is where everything shifts. That's when they begin to notice what's missing. The emotional support, the familiar laughter, the way your energy used to ground them when life felt chaotic. They don't miss the relationship all at once. They miss the rhythm, the stability, the meaning behind the ordinary. And your absence, if held with strength, will echo louder than any words you could ever say. After the initial wave of relief fades, a new mask begins to form over confidence. It doesn't always happen loudly. Sometimes it's in subtle posts. New clothes, big smiles, or stories that scream, "I'm doing great without you." You see them laughing with friends, posting more often, maybe even dating someone new. From the outside, it looks like they're thriving. It's like walking away was the best decision they ever made. But that surface isn't the truth. It's a performance. It's what people do when they're trying to outrun the silence. This phase isn't strength. It's protection. It's an armor against vulnerability. Most people, when faced with emotional weight, distract themselves. They need motion to drown the noise. Can't sit with regret, so they put on a show for others and for themselves. But here's what they don't expect you not playing. Along, your silence isn't just silence anymore. It becomes a disruption. It messes with the script they had in mind. You were supposed to reach out, to beg, to be angry, to give them the emotional control they thought they still had. But when you don't respond, when you don't chase, when you stay grounded and still, their overconfidence starts to shake. Doubt creeps in slowly. You wonder why you're not broken, why you seem unaffected. That's the moment you regain power, not because you're faking strength, but because you're choosing peace over reaction. Their facade begins to crack, not from anything you said, from everything you didn't. The mystery of your silence becomes louder than their noise. And deep down, they start to wonder if you're doing fine without them. Maybe they were wrong. Maybe they weren't as in control as they believed. Ain't that subtle shift? It's the beginning of a much deeper unraveling. Curiosity always arrives quietly. There's no big moment, no flashing sign that says your ex is starting to think about you again. It starts in silence. One day, they're busy, distracted, certain. They made the right decision. But then something small happens, a familiar song, a scent. A memory that creeps in when they least expect it to hand. Suddenly they pause. They don't know why, but their thoughts drift back to you. Not with anger, not with regret, but with questions. Where are you now? Why haven't you reached out? Why are you so silent? That silence begins to pull at their curiosity. It doesn't make sense to them. They expected you to react. They expected a text, a message, some kind of emotional response that would confirm they still mattered to you. But instead, they're met with stillness. And in that stillness, their mind starts filling in the blanks. They check your profile without liking anything. They watch your stories without leaving a trace. They ask mutual friends about you, pretending it's casual, but it's not. Personal, it's emotional, and it's growing. Every day you stay quiet, the mystery gets stronger. What are you thinking? Are you over it? Have you moved on? This is when the temptation hits you. You can feel their energy shifting. Maybe you sense that they're watching. Part of you wants to respond, to say something, to break the tension. But don't. That tension is exactly what's working. If you speak too soon, you interrupt the natural process. Curiosity needs time to become need. And need, if it's allowed to grow, leads them to confront something they've been avoiding since day one. They miss you. It's not just what you gave them, but you. Let them sit in it. Let them wonder. When curiosity has had time to build in silence, it starts to evolve into something heavier doubt. That confident mask they wore in the beginning, it begins to slip. The distractions don't work as well. The parties, the posts, the fake smiles, they all start to feel empty. And late at night, when everything slows down, the questions they've been trying to avoid break through. Did I make a mistake? Was I too quick to walk away? These thoughts don't come from logic. They come from emotional weight, from realizing that the person they thought would chase didn't. And that realization changes everything. Doubt isn't loud. It creeps in during quiet moments. It lives in the gaps between messages they don't receive, between stories they watch but never react to, between the comfort they used to feel and the emptiness they now carry. They start to feel the consequences of their decision, not through pain you've caused them, but through the absence of what you used to bring. Your energy, your presence, your emotional support is all gone, and now they're left with a reflection. One that shows someone who's calm, grounded, evolving. That reflection forces them to compare you to the version they held in their mind, the one they thought would be desperate, waiting, stuck. This is where fear is born. Not the fear of being alone, but the fear that they let go of something real. That maybe someone else now sees what they couldn't. That maybe they threw away something irreplaceable. And fear, more than anything, drives people to act. That's when the breadcrumbs start. A old photo liked, a vague message, a random check-in. But remember, those aren't declarations. They're tests. They want to know, is the door still open? You stay still. Let them face the storm they created. No contact is often misunderstood. People think it's a mind game to win someone back, a tactic to make your ex miss you, or a strategy to gain power. But the truth is, if you're doing it right, no contact isn't about your ex at all. It's about you. It's about turning your focus inward and reclaiming the version of yourself that got lost in the chaos of the relationship. After a breakup, especially one that left you blindsided, your first instinct is usually to chase, to explain, to try and fix what's broken. But every time you reach out, you give more of your energy away. You reinforce the idea that your value depends on their validation. It ends with no contact. No contact is your space to rebuild. At first, the silence is painful. It feels like withdrawal, but then clarity starts to form. You begin to see the compromises you made, the parts of yourself you dimmed just to keep the peace. The way you tried to hold on to something that was already slipping. You start to breathe differently. You go back to the gym. You pick up hobbies you abandoned. You reconnect with who you were before love made you forget yourself. Slowly, the pain doesn't consume you anymore. You begin to rise. And here's the irony. This growth, this new energy, this calm and confident version of you, it's what often pulls your ex back. But now, you're not the same person they left. You're stronger, clearer. You're no longer need their approval to feel worthy. And if they do return, you won't be waiting like before. You'll be standing firm. Knowing your value doesn't come from being chosen. It comes from choosing yourself. Whether they come back or not, you've already won, because you've stopped chasing and started becoming.